everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we're in the basement and we got a whole bunch of vacuum cleaners to service up and repair and get going. It's time to service up all of our robot vacuums. They just need to be all gone through, cleaned up, and Deb has made little name tags for all of them so we can keep track of them. So first one up is Otto. He just finished running, so we have to empty his hopper, and that's a good place to start. On this one, you just, okay, Deb knows how to do it. There, see? The procedure is going to be the same for all of these, even though those three are a little more similar than this one. The hopper is the main difference. On this one, you open it up like that. So we go ahead and we empty all the junk out of there. We brush off the screen. This is like a pre-filter for the suction filter. And then what we usually do after every use is we take the suction filter out and you just knock it in the garbage can. But because we're doing a major service on this now, you can see here all the crap. That's the clean side of the pre-filter. And look, there's a bunch of junk in there. So we're going to get that out. Just brush it out. And now what we're going to do is get some compressed air. And we're going to blow this all out. Make sure it's clean. And same thing, we're going to blow out this filter. If you haven't got a compressor, don't worry. Just get those little aerosol cans you use for your computer or a small vacuum. And another thing, if you're using compressed air to blow out these filters, don't do it in your house like I just did. Do it outside or in your garage or something. Now, once you think you've got it clean, the easy way to tell if an air filter is clean, just hold it up to a light. And you can see how we can see light through that. That's good. That's what you're looking for. And you can buy replacements for these filters too. Then it goes back in. You'll notice it's got this little leg on it, which will only let it go in one way. Close her up, and we can set this off to the side for now. While we've got it right side up, we're going to check the bumper. Make sure you can see there, it moves easy and it springs back easily all by itself. We did a video on this one time, one of these other ones, the bumper got stuck. Okay, now we're going to go underneath it. Look at this mess. So, what we have to do is take all this stuff apart. This is what happens when you have dogs. You'll see here, the dog hair gets wrapped all around these wheels, and especially this one, and inhibits them from turning. I can't even get this end out. So we've got a little hobby knife here, and we're going to start cutting this mess away from here. Now we've got that all out of there. Now we can start picking the stuff out of this roller. This gets all tangled up in here, and it'll actually get to the point where it starts inhibiting the operation of the machine. These dogs, we love them to bits, but they can create a mess, let me tell you. Oh, and another thing I want to mention, if you've got these things, when you're not using them, if you take them away from their docking station and put them up on a table, turn off the on-off switch on the side. This here. Because this thing, if it's just sitting by itself on a table and it decides it wants its battery charged, it'll start moving looking for the charger because it's not on the docking station, and it'll drive right off the table. It happened to us once. Even though it's supposed to have a cliff sensor to keep it from doing that, it drove right off and went smash on the floor. Now we can brush all this out. And that'll be ready to go back together. We've also got a bunch of stuff tangled up on these, the little scrubber brushes. Pretty easy. You can just pull that out of there. Right. These things should just pop off there, and you can get all the stuff out from behind them. Last thing underneath, we're going to pop out this wheel. It's just a little caster wheel on the front. I got to grab a screwdriver. Last job we got to do is pop out this little caster wheel on the front. Just like that. And get all the stuff. See, it gets all wrapped around the axle. And that will also inhibit it from rolling freely. And it'll stop and give a trouble code. Because the motors, it senses the motors are using too much power to move the machine forward. So, you can see here now the wheel turns nice. We can pop our wheel back in. And see, it turns nice and easy now. Now we can put this roller back in. See, the square end is the drive end. That goes in there. And this end just sits in there like so. Oops, I got stuff in this. Wow. These dogs, I tell you. There we go. You'll never get every last hair out of it. And as soon as it runs for 10 seconds, it's going to start getting full up again, right? There we go. Thank you. There. Now we can turn them back over. Oh, also make sure, these are your charging pads. Just make sure that they're clean. And these here, see these little eyes? That's the cliff sensor. You want to make sure that's clean. Then we can pop this back in. Pop his hopper back in. Now we'll just give him a little cleanup and put his label on. So I just use a little bit of car polish to clean them up. It'll be nice and shiny because it gets all covered in dog slobber because they chase the thing around. It's all scratched up from them. They beat the hell out of it. But they haven't been able to kill it yet. Okay, we'll let that dry then buff it up. So we got him all buffed up. Now we'll put his name tag on. So there we go. That's auto. I'm going to get the next one here. I'm not going to show you the whole procedure again, but if I come across anything that's a little bit different, I'll show you that. This one is Mel. This is the one that for the main floor of our house. So we'll go over it, and like I said, if I find any little differences, I'll let you know. These two don't seem too interested in all this, even though they're the reason I have to do this. So, here's Mel, ready for duty. This is Bob. This is our original robot vacuum. He has stood the test of time. He patrols the basement here now. So we'll start on the top. Check his bumper. All good. Let's see what we find in here. All good. It's clean. So I'll just get these filters blown out, and he'll be good in that regard. The brush and filter maintenance on Bob went pretty much the same as the other ones. But what I noticed when I was under there, you could see Bob needs new tires. From driving around on this concrete under here, the tires get worn down. The original ones are kind of a rubbery material, and they wear down quite easily. And what happens when the tires wear down, it starts dragging its bottom because he's lost about probably 1/8 of an inch of rubber off of there. So it starts dragging. You can see here where it's been dragging. And that little tiny bit, lowering it, lets it get under things that it normally wouldn't get under. I keep finding it stuck under that cabinet over there. So we're going to put a set of tires on it. I got these on Amazon. The only way really to buy tires for a Shark that I found was to buy the whole drive motor assembly, and they're expensive. But they do make replacement tires for a Roomba. And these are the ones you want to get for these old sharks. Roomba 100 series Roomba. And buy these tires. And I'm going to quickly show you how to change them. First, you need a T15 Torx. And we're going to get the wheel motor separated from the machine. There's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, 5. There's one up in there behind the bumper. Then you lift the wheel motor out and unplug it. Where's the plug? There's 2 more screws yet to fall out of this. One fell out. There's the other one. Where's the plug for this bugger? Oh, there it is. The plug is right in there. You'll see, you just have to, I think the tabs are on the ends of it. Can't remember. There we go. Once we've got the motor out, we remove the suspension spring. And then this axle, or the pivot pin there, needs to come out. We just get our screwdriver and you just give it a... I've gotten them out before. There it comes. Just need a little tap to get it free. See, it's got a spline on the end there. And now that gets your wheel assembly free. So what we got to do now is go around and you just get a screwdriver or something. The tires on the Shark are like molded right onto the wheel. So it takes a little work to get them off. You can see what a soft rubber they're made of. Once you get it started, they come off. There we go. There we go. And then we just work our way around. You can see how it's molded over those teeth. Once your tire is off, then we've got to get a big knife and go around and cut all these teeth off. Because the Roomba tires are not compatible with these teeth. Once you've got all those little teeth cut off, don't worry about the little stubs that are left behind. That actually gives the tire something to bite into. And then we start working the tire over the wheel. Start at the back there, I guess. There we go. And you got to stretch it to get it on. It goes on. There we go. And then we're just going to try our best to get it centered up on the wheel. There we are. Once it's on, and they don't come off because you'll see on Bob, it's had a pair of these on it for when we get to Bob. Or no, pardon me, Stuart. I get them mixed up. That's why we have to put name tags on them. You'll see that they stay on there for a good long time. So that's one done. Now you can see the difference. You can see the difference in size between them. That's why we've lost all our ground clearance. So we'll put this motor back together and it'll be ready to go back in the machine. There it is, all back together, ready to go back in the machine. Now we can reinstall the wheel motors. Bear in mind, on this side only, when you put the wheel motor in, the on-off switch is on the side, and that will interfere with the spring. So you have to kind of thread it in to make sure it gets around that switch. And don't forget to plug it in before you put it back. And just got to kind of jiggle it down in. There we go. It gets down under there. What am I doing wrong here? It takes a little gentle jiggling to get the motor back down in there. And once it's in, before you start putting in the screws, just make sure you've got your full suspension travel. So there's the bottom of Bob all back together. We'll flip him over and get the top side of him cleaned up. There's Bob, all fixed up, ready to go back to work. Now I saved the worst for last. Dirty old Stuart from the garage. This is Stuart. Stuart lives in the garage. Stuart's a mess. Stuart may require a lot of help. But anyway, let's get going on him. First we'll get... Oh, dear. That's what happens. Okay, see, you're not supposed to run these things when it's wet. But what happens from milling around in the garage, it gets knocked off its charging station. And when the battery gets down to a certain level, it'll say, oh, I need to be charged. And it'll start looking for the charging station. But in this case, it couldn't find it because it had gotten knocked under something. And it couldn't get docked. So it kept going around and around. I found it just driving around, and it was going through puddles and everything. So this is going to take a lot of cleaning. So you can see here, after all this time, the replacement tires that I put on this ages ago are still good. One brush is worn right away to nothing because of the rough concrete out there. Oh yeah, this is going to need a lot of cleaning. That's from it running in the wet. But that's okay. We are here to fix it. Stuart here needed some serious cleanup. He actually had to go in the laundry tub. So what I did before that, I took the battery right out of it so that we wouldn't have any electrical zaps or anything. So now he's just sitting here drying. And once he's dry, I'll put him back together. I did find that the front tire, look, it's all worn out and starting to come apart. So I went upstairs to check our Roomba, which is kind of our backup vacuum. And the front tire is exactly the same. So I stole the tire from the Roomba and I ordered a couple. I got them on Amazon. $13.99 for the whole carrier assembly and everything for the Roomba. So we'll just put one of the new ones in that, and we'll be all set. While we're waiting for all Stuart's parts to dry and the new front tire to come for the Roomba, we are going to have a look at the upright Shark vacuum from upstairs. This has been a pretty good machine for us, so we're just going to open it up, clean it all up, and make sure it's working as good as it can. There's the canister. Here's a filter that we can clean up. And that's the pre-filter. Or that's the filter and that's the, you know what I mean. Now this comes off. Pull to access HEPA filter. Oh, okay. And there is the HEPA filter. I bet you we've never had that. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that needs some cleaning. Yeah, it's just about plugged. So we can clean that, and then we'll have a look at all the rollers underneath. The filters from this, they actually recommend you to rinse them out with water. So we did that. They say don't use any soap or chemicals. I did not. So we're just going to set them all here to dry. Right now the filter from Stuart is drying, And these ones will all get their turn in front of the fan in due time. These here are the little locks, so we can remove this cover and get at the beater bar. And you can see it's not too bad. It's just got a couple little things wrapped around it. We'll get this cleaned out, put back together. We can also check our belt. It's good and tight. Nothing wrong there. We'll put her back together. Now we'll clean out the canister. You flip that lab and pull it out. Or you flip that tab and pull it out, pardon me. Now we'll get the canister all washed out. I'll just use some warm water in the laundry tub here and a little dish detergent. And there's Stuart all fixed up, ready to go back to work. This is cool. Only the real cool robot vacuums have welding spatter on them. Next, we're going to open up this shop vac that we bought at the auction way back in the summertime. It works, I know that. I plugged it in and sucked up some dust with it. That's all I know. So we'll open it up and see what's inside it. You can tell by the inside of this, previous owner has been using it to suck up drywall dust, which is not good. And they've been running it without a filter, and this has gotten all plugged up with crap. So we're going to get this thing all cleaned up. And tomorrow when we're up in town, we'll get some filters for it. Now we can put this one back together. First the felt filter, then the foam filter. And our dust collector. Cooper, your nose is going to get stuck in there. Then we can put the HEPA filter in. And put the little door on. Oops, I think it goes in. Hang on. Tactical error. That's better. That goes in, and then this goes on. Alright, learn something new every day. There we are. And now this vacuum is ready to go. Here we go. We're going to send these things all and make sure they work. This guy wants to go home because his battery is dead. He'll give these dogs something to do anyway. But you can see there all that's wrong with him, because remember I told you he was off his docking station? We can charge him up a little bit. Here's the filter we're going to put on. The original style was just kind of like a rag that went on and you pushed a plastic ring over it. But this one seems to have an elastic that I guess does away with the plastic ring. So we will stretch that over there and then we'll put the pre-filter over it. So that's how it looks with the filter on it. Now we'll stretch the pre-filter over top of that. And that's what you end up with. Now we can put the head back in the vacuum can and it should be ready to roll. Well, it runs pretty nice. Let's suck up some sawdust. Oh yeah, it's got good vacuum. Jolly good. Next up, we're going to have a go at my big vacuum. And I got a feeling that this thing is just nasty inside. Let's see here. Well, there's a lot of junk in it, but it's not too gross. We'll dump this out into the trash and get the inside of this bucket cleaned up. This one's not that bad, really. No, there's step one. We got the bucket nice and cleaned out. Now, I noticed when I pulled it out, the wheels don't really turn very easily anymore. Look at that one stuck. So we're going to get some oil and get these wheels oiled up and get them working nicely again. Next thing I'm going to do is take this mess of a filter off of here. I'm going to put it in a plastic bag and take it outside and blow it out outdoors. Beautiful. Now that it's all cleaned up, we can put our filter back on, put the wing nut on it. We can put this baby back together and make sure she still works. This thing is a serious vacuum cleaner. I actually, when I'm using my router table, I actually hook this thing up to the router table and I don't get any dust at all down here. I'd say she's working good. So our new front wheel for the Roomba came with the whole, it's a whole assembly, not just the wheel. So you just pull it out and push that one in and it doesn't work. Oh, that's really tight. All right, plan B. That's better. So we did just pop our original wheel, our new wheel into the original holder and everything's fine. This one is nice and clean. We don't really use it all that much. It's kind of our backup. You can see there's no buildup of junk in here or anything. So we could just flip it over, give it a buff, and this one just kind of stays in storage until we need it. Let's see how it works. There it goes. Whoop, there it comes. There it goes. It don't know what to do. There we go. Okay, he's figuring it out. Okay, shut him down. Perfect. Last one we're going to fix up here is our central vacuum. First step, oh no, that turns it on. So I just want to make sure it won't come on. Oh, well, unplug it. There we go. This has been a great vacuum. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have latches on the side to get the bin off. It's got this twist thing. So anyway, you just turn it like that. And down it comes. And I think this bag is full. Yeah, it's so full it fell off. So we're just going to go and put this right in the trash. While I've got it down, I'll just kind of give the bin a little bit of a clean. It does get some dust and crap in it. Now I'll pop a new bag in it. And this is my last original Kenmore bag. I've ordered some equivalent ones off of Amazon, but this is my last original Kenmore bag. You haven't been able to get these from Kenmore in years. I actually found a bag of them on eBay, like new old stock, like buying car parts. Cooper, out of here, please, my little buddy. So, to put this on, you pop it over there. And then we put up our bin. And like I said, it's this goofy thing that you gotta turn. Get the bag up in there. Alright, now that that's back together, we can give it a whirl. Cooper, look out, this thing's gonna turn on and you're gonna jump. Okay. Alright, okay. That's that one done. Well, I guess that's going to do it for that one. That was a lot of vacuum cleaners, eh? There's still a few more kicking around here that I didn't mess with, but that's for another day. Anyway, I got to take off now. We're going to watch the hockey game and chill out for the rest of the night. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to support our channel. Hope you'll come back and see us again soon. And until then, this is Kevin checking out from the Claremont Classic Garage. So long for now.